Yo gamers, what's up? It's your boy Sarandus back again with another Arma scripting video. Today's video we're gonna look about how to make a remote controlled turret. Now there's a number of different ways to do this, and this script works not only for turrets but it will also work for vehicles. And we're gonna have one where the player will take control over an AI, and we'll have another one where the player will be teleported into the turret itself. Now, of course, as I am using just the native factions, we only have the basic turrets that are non-UAV. Of course, we have the UAV turrets that you access through a UAV terminal, like the hammer, for example, is accessed through a UAV terminal. But we're talking about other things. And a lot of fancy mods, like sci-fi mods, might have large turret towers that you can't access through a UAV. And you might want still to access them through a terminal of some sort. So this is a little terminal right here. We can, of course, again, as the teleporter video, use any object for this. I've used this computer, because, of course, computers remote controlling. But you could use a table if you'd like. So step one is to remote control this AI. So we're going to go back to our little computer here, and we're going to plunk in this script right here. Bam! Now we want to change the text to, of course, again, be whatever we want it to be. Could be, enter turret. And then we want the gunner name to be whatever variable we put as the gunner. It could be just whatever. Let's just be B1. And let's head over to our gunner man right here. We'll make him B1. And while we're at it, we might as well make this guy B2, because we'll be doing stuff with him as well. And we're also going to be making him invisible. We do that under special states and just tick off show model. That'll make him invisible. Of course, not in Eden, but in game it will be. And then for our last little turret here, we'll have to give this a variable name as well. We'll just call it B3. So that goes for the turret, because it's another way of doing it. Now let's head back to our terminal and implement all three ways of doing it. So let's add another one for this other guy, for our B2 man who's invisible. And then lastly, we'll put in this teleport script for the turret. Now we have a moveInAny, so it's also basically a get position and then put in position, as it was in the previous video. And then vehicle, we named our vehicle B3. And that will allow it to get into the vehicle. Now, we don't want necessarily our player to teleport, we just want them to be in the gun. So what we can do is to lock the guns from being used. We do this by just straight up writing, like that, B3, lock, true. Now you can't escape from this turret, which we want to get out of it somehow. So we'll just grab a helipad back to where we started. It's the one called outside, and we want to teleport to outside. So I'll just grab the teleport script from last video and put that into the turret. And then, of course, exit turret, go to outside, and we want him to looking south back at the computer again. So you want to keep the set there to south. Of course, if you don't want to set the set there, you can also just change where the computer is, I suppose. But yeah, as the turret will turn around, so will the player. So we'll use the set direction. If you're wondering what I'm talking about and you haven't watched the last video, you should go ahead and do that. Now, for these last turrets here, we want a way to get out of it as well. But since our player is just standing where he's standing, just remote controlling these gunners, we instead want to use something else. So we're going to select the gun that the rifleman will be using. An exit turret we've written here on this script. And of course the gunner name on this gun is our good pal B2. And the gunner name on this one is, of course, our good pal B1. Alright, we got all turrets set up. We might want to lock these as well, actually. I'll just quickly go ahead and do that. We don't want our players to exit the turrets with our AI. So we need to name these guns something. It doesn't really matter. I'll just name it DD and then DD lock true. And this gun, right, come on, there we go, right there. We call this EE. Alright, everything should now be in order for our 3 different guns. Of course, we need to put our fabled B1 and B2 into their guns. If I can manage. There we are, that was surprisingly hard to do. And let's test it out. Alright, we're back here now in the game. As you can see, B2 is wholly invisible. And we got our little ender turrets here. Of course, I didn't change the text of these, so they're all called ender turret, but this should be a B1. As you can see right now, I'm playing as B1, and if I try to exit the turret by double tapping V, nothing's gonna happen. I can shoot, I can go first person, I can shoot, and I can scroll wheel to exit the turret. And I'm back here. If we go to B2, our little invisible pal, looks like we have a little remote control turret. Looks like there's a robot controlling it. We can still go into first and third person, and of course exit the turret. We're back. Same script. Now for the final one. There we go. Now it's actually me controlling it, and that's me being teleported to the turret to control it. And again, we have the exit turret, and I am back. So now finally I'll show you how I did a little sneaking underneath a truck trick to finish off the video. Alright, so we have our little truck right here. We have our truck driver, and underneath I have placed an ACE spotting scope from the ACE mod. And I've turned it upside down by, just manipulating how it looks like. Spawned down another one, spotting scope. I've taken out the guy in it, and by simply using the rotating widget, you can rotate it around. And I put that underneath the car, and I've given the spotting scope the variable bino for binocular. Now on it, I put this attach to relative command, which attaches an object relative to the position the object is in. Now it's underneath, so it will be attached underneath the car. And car is of course the variable name of the truck. I've given it the variable name car. Oh, whoops. And on the car, I've given the action. That was the same action as we added to get into the final turret here, this one. So you might recognize it from this. It's the same action, except this time we're going into the binoculars. So that will teleport the player into the binoculars, and since the binoculars are not locked, we'll be able to exit as well. So that's pretty simple how that works. I will just show it quickly again before we end this episode as well. Alright, we're back playing. You can see here I have my scroll wheel. I'm scrolling to the action we had placed on the car, hide under car, teleport us to the spotting scope hidden underneath the car and also attached to the car. So here I am lying underneath it, attached to this spotting scope. And as I choose to go into SUS, I can send the car driving away, and the spotting scope is attached to the car. I'll be dragged along with it. And I can of course exit at any time by falling out. Which might not be recommended if you're driving full speed. And yeah, that was it for this episode of Scripting with Sarandus. Tune in next time, because then we look at how to set up Intel. So I hope to see you there. Later, gamer!